groundbreaking movie in America was Love Story, yuck, and in Britain it was Would You Believe on the Buses. At the Oscars, The French Connection won the awards for Best Film, Best Director, William Friedkin, and Best Actor, Gene Hackman, while Jane Fonda was Best Actress for Klute. And the three most popular box office stars were, in descending order, John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, and Paul Newman. The film programme, this programme, actually began in November. All right, so we're a bit early with the celebrations. Big deal. The first presenter was Jackie Gillett, but over the years a wide variety of people have for varying periods of time sat in this very studio, though not in this very chair, because that's been changed frequently to protect the incumbent's posterior. However, see how many of these you remember.
This week, Nicholas and Alexandra, which last night had its royal premiere. With me, director Franklin J. Schaffner.
This week, a clutch of family films, an interview with Jacques Demy, director of The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, and a face-to-face between Alexander Walker and Michael Winner.
Well, what has happened to the dear old horror movie? Time was when horror films were horrifying.
Good evening. As you probably gathered, that was Peter Sellers in his familiar guise as the inept Inspector Clouseau.
My name is Tina Brown, and I'll be with you for the next 3 weeks looking at the new releases. So what do we have on offer this week?
Let's begin with Charming Old-Fashioned Ghost Story, in which those charming old-fashioned actors I mentioned are the Chowder Club.
We've also got Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is about men's other favourite pets, the nubile variety.
I'm your attendant this week in the Blue Velvet Sleeping Car Express. No, I'm not. I'm announcing this week's competition called Guess Who's Presenting Now.
Good evening. Sometimes I think that being paid to go to the movies is a definition of paradise, and sometimes I sit there thinking, what on earth am I doing watching this tripe?
Good evening. Instead of talking about films, Mr. Baron Norman has gone away to make some, and I have been asked to mind the shop.
Here's a little tale. You could get a clip from the archives. I played Barry when he was much younger. Now, of course, I'm far too young to play him.
Good evening. Well, as you can see, I'm not quite myself this evening. Indeed, I'm still positively recuperating from a week at the Rude Film Festival, where a huge entry, if that's the word, and often it was, of rude films kept an enthusiastic audience on the edge of each other's seats.
Oh dear, dear. All our yesterdays, well, all mine anyway. Right, well, back to the moving picture album. 21 years ago, Hitchcock was at Pinewood Studios making Frenzy with John Finch and Barry Foster. Richard Attenborough, a mere mister then, was directing Young Winston with Simon Ward and Robert Shaw. And in San Francisco, Woody Allen was starting work on Play It Again, Sam. Ah, me, those were the days. Or were they? Anyway, here's another dose of reminiscence for you as we pick out some of the highlights, oh, all right, lowlights if you want to be like that, of the last 21 years.
We enjoy living together, and if we work together too much, we see too much of each other, and a little flavor goes out of the marriage. So, but I have never cheated with another woman. May I drop down? My heart. I'm okay now. I'm okay. I'm okay.
What's your position? What's your status at the moment in the movie industry? Are you hot?
I'm unemployable, actually. I can't get a gig. You think I would have done this if I could have gotten a real job? Forget it.
Seriously?
I'm dead serious.
Really?
Do that again. Take two. Turn this around. We want to see it. Really?
No way.
Do the really. I want to see.
Really? Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever stop smoking?
Never. But I have made a concession to the doctors. These are horrible. They're low tar. And I just loved my Lucky Strikes. I adored them. And no filters. So this is a compromise, really.
Ms. Gish, I'm sorry, we don't have enough time to go on. I'd love to talk longer. I do wish you luck with that book. It's a lovely book. Beautiful, beautiful photographs and beautifully written. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for letting me come.
There's a malicious rumour going about that Lillian Gish is 78. I don't believe a word of it.
It's not true.
It isn't true.
I'm not that old. No.
I didn't think it could be.
No.
I shan't ask
I'm
you
as old as I look.
Well, how... Goodness me, that's a child yet.
Oh!
Anyway,
No.
she couldn't be 78 unless she'd taken the same treatment
No,
as Elizabeth Taylor did in Ash Wednesday.
I certainly am not.
You sure as hell have a lot of good things to remember, don't you?
No, but I can listen to them while you tell me.
Well, you've got a good wife, and you've got something in your eye, which is
No, I was
strange.
just winking. I've got a
I thought
good
you
wife.
probably were. And you've got a fairly fulfilled career, which in a kind way allows you to choose whatever work you may want to work at, given the right material.
I'm very fortunate.
And you're wealthy.
Yes.
And there are those people who say you're a good-looking guy.
What do they know?
I guess if there were, you know, people say, well, if you were an animal, what would you be? And, you know, I kind of feel like a duck.
Where's the duck analogy come from? I'm looking at you as closely as I like. You know, I can't see ducks there.
No, there is. There's a resemblance. It's kind of the way I walk, too. I have a little bit of a waddle.
I tell you, I really didn't fancy you as a woman.
Why not?
Not my type.
In what way? What specifically? My body, my face, my nose?
You look like my auntie.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're cute.
No, you said I wasn't your type. I'm going elsewhere.
All right, I'm sorry.
I hope your aunt's not watching the show.
Is this superstardom you now have, is this going to change your life at all?
No, dear, I've had my change of life. Or I imagine I have. It has, of course, been very warm and close in London, and I've been running around. We don't always know. We women are funny things. But it's not a thing I'd like to talk about on television.
No,
I didn't expect an in-depth interview, you know.
I'm sorry, I didn't really mean to bring the subject up quite like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the future. I think that people will actually go home and the windows will be sealed and they will have to buy bottled air. I think that the atmosphere will be so bad and there'll be so many respiratory ailments that the only time that you'll have any kind of relief will possibly in your own home.
It doesn't matter what question you ask. Let's assume you ask the question, Arnold, how old are you? I would say to you, I'm 42 years old. I said, but what was interesting was that when I started Total Recall, I was 41. It took so long to make this film, and when Total Recall comes out, I will be 43 this summer, and then by the time it comes out foreign, maybe we'll be 44, and by the time it comes out the video Total Recall, I'll be maybe 46, who knows? So Total Recall, no matter when Total Recall comes, you see how many times I got it in there? Yeah. That's the art of selling.
I'm trying to figure out what the title of this film is.
The art of selling.
It's an old-fashioned, big-time movie.
Yeah, no sex.
Trust me.
I'm sure they'll trust.
I haven't led you down the garden path before. When I first came, I told you Princess Bride would be good. It was good. I told you Throw Mama was going to be funny. It was very funny. Running Scared, very fun. This one, Harry and Sally, big. I sat next to Princess Di. She loved it, you know. And so please trust me.
Yes. The makeup. Oh, well, I haven't been to makeup yet, but I shall go soon. If you've done a particularly good take, John sticks his finger in your eye there. I don't know, it's a sort of little one. Doesn't want to say no, because he's written the thing, he's co-directing. You don't want to say, John, I'd rather you didn't do that, because it means it's a compliment, you know. If he sticks his finger right in your eye, it's been a really good take, so that's why I'm wearing this.
Well, that's the end of the film. You know, many people come to me and they say, Steve, hello, my friend. No, they don't. But they do come to me and they say, Steve, surely beneath every funky white comedian, there's an even funkier black comedian struggling to get out. Oh no, my secret is revealed. Wild and crazy, this, my friends. Cut it.
It was great to get in that get-up every day and look at yourself and be, first of all, be 10 years younger.
It's quite remarkable, isn't it? He looks more like Steve Martin than Steve Martin does.
I was Peter Lorre in my fantasy, never Humphrey Bogart, you know. And I still feel that way. I don't really want... I'm not equipped by nature for Leeds anyway, or even Chelsea.
Poor old Marty Feldman. Well, how about that? 2 decades gone in a flash. But lest you think otherwise, it hasn't always been plain sailing. I mean, just look at this.
For some strange reason, you want to keep your face the way she is. Just, Usan, you. Sorry about that.
What is the point, though, of announcing it all so soon here? Is that simply to get distributors and exhibitors interested in the idea that this film is about to be made?
Yes. Yes. I want to make a loud noise.
Crétin! Crétin! Vraiment crétin! Moi, je fais une fatigue à venir ici, tu comprends? Jette-le dehors, finissent de conférences de presse, merde! Ce sont les gens qui travaillent ici. Le voto, idiote, analphabète, mongoloïde. Bien.